Welcome back to this Jack. I need to fix the delay on that. I think. Maybe. Possibly. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know what it is, but when I wear my glasses on stream, the first thing I have to do when the stream goes live is I'm like, oh yeah, I need to clean my glasses. And that's like, you can look at my Jack Daedalus streams, it's almost a guarantee it's going to happen every single time. And I know I'm currently set for Elden Ring in the background. I'll deal with that in a second. This is just a spur of the moment, to be honest. Like, I had accumulated a few stories. I was debating if I wanted to just make into a video, but I was like, you know what, I'll just do a quick stream on it. That's a little concerning. Also, hi, Sawyer. Coffee over gaming. There we go. Speaking of, hey, Trickster. Was something that's actually kind of funny. I was actually playing Sekiro a little bit ago. I'm doing New Game Plus just to dick around, and I'm starting to get my rhythm back, so I'm actually doing really good. So I'm pretty happy about that. I might do a random Sekiro stream, because I'm still going to dick around on it, just so you guys can see, like, when I'm on my A game. Oh, for those who are usually just watching my Coffee Over Gaming streams, this is probably the first time you've seen me live with my new haircut, so, like, be gentle. I'm probably not going to change the way I style it, because I've mentioned this before. Some people in my close inner circle actually made fun of it at one point. It actually fucked with me, because it's the people I trust, and additionally, I'm rather self-conscious at times about my appearance. It depends on if it's in a vulnerable day, and otherwise it becomes a fuck you, try again. I think I need to adjust the camera a little bit. Oh, wrong way. There we go. That's better. That is better. Alright. Except for I do got a couple stories I do want to cover, which means I need to move my... There we go. Don't tell me I just went live and... Okay, he's just answering. Alright. I'm glad. Once again, I'm really glad you are enjoying Black Summoner. That's why I put that Discord message up in the Discord channel. Like, for those who are not in the Discord channel, it's this one right here. Canon event. You start with anime, then you read manga, then you read manhwa, and then you start reading light novels. That's Trickster's journey, specifically with Black Summoner. It's like, oh, yep, I finished the manga, now I gotta read the light novel and get ahead. He also does audiobooks, so calling his ass out. Alright, I have a couple stream stories. So, I really, like, hey Gothic. So I really do not like Jake Paul or Logan Paul. I don't like either one of them. Jake Paul is supposed to have a boxing match with Mike Tyson. So, legendary boxer, has been retired for a while, is going to be fighting a technically current boxer. And I don't know all the details about that, because I haven't been paying attention. I thought it got called off, though, to be honest. So, I don't know what the deal with this video is. It looks like he's wearing a prop for some reason. In fact, the whole thing looks like it's staged. This is him, like, lifting weights and stuff, and either he's wearing a pregnant belly for some fucking reason, which then has all of his fake tattoos and stuff on it, or yeah, hang on, because he shows the side of his neck here in a second. Yeah, that's a prop. I just saw the neck. I don't know why he's doing that, because, like, the only other thing I could think of is, actually no, he can't, because you'd be seeing the arms unless it goes all the way down, in which case, like, no, I don't know. But anyway, because when you take steroids, that can happen too. So I actually pull that up. But I really, like, the reason why it's on Coffee Over Gaming instead of me doing it on Jack Daedalus is, one, I just wanted to do a stream here, and two, let's see here. It's called corticosteroid. Anyway, but basically it'll make your stomach swell up. There is, like, a famous bodybuilder who is famous, like, Here it is. Here's an image of him. It's called bubble gut. That's what they're calling it. I forgot what that is. Is this right here? Famous bodybuilder, you know, like ripped and all things, but then he's got this swollen stomach. Mind you, usually they still have like somewhat of a six-pack design. So, um, so yeah, yeah. So they had the stroke and they're pushing back 6 months. That answers that question. Okay, I really just don't like Logan Paul. So that gave me a good excuse to talk about it. And Jake Paul. I also don't like Jake Paul. The story's about Jake Paul, so. Um, Here's another thing. I don't play the most recent Mortal Kombat games, but they added Peacemaker, and somebody shared the fatality for it, and I'm like, you literally can't get more America than this. Like, you couldn't get more America if you tried. Like, once again, I have the sound off for a reason. Like, twin bald eagles, machine guns, you know, like, in fact, it looks like it's AR-15s, random grenade. Like, how can you get much more America than that? And then the American flag in the background. Like, you literally could not get more America. Like, that's actually some really good game design right there. Like, alright. I think I had a couple more stories, but I don't think I saved the shortcut to them, so I'm actually a little disappointed in myself. There's a couple cosplays I would love to fucking share, but unfortunately... Sorry, I got distracted. But unfortunately, I haven't gotten direct permission to be able to share it, so I try not... or I don't have a... I'm going to describe it as a relationship with them already, where I can just blanket share their content. Because technically, since it's already public stuff, it's free stuff, I could probably share it and get away with it. But I feel it's just disrespectful to not ask and get permission. Yeah, I can't find it. Anyway. So, let me pull up my Crunchyroll, because there is a couple things in here I wanted to cover. I haven't seen the latest No Longer Allowed in Another World. Like, a new episode came out today, I have yet to see it. Osan, the Newbie Adventure, released its final episode. So if you're looking for a good fighting anime, like fantasy fighting anime that isn't an isekai, Osan Newbie Adventure is actually pretty good. Like, the final episode's really good, has some great fighting in it. It has some stereotypes in there, but they actually... One thing they do is a good job of explaining why he's different than, like, the orc monk character you can see in the background. Where the more orc monk character is, like, straight up like a fist fighting paladin, for lack of a better description. He's able to heal, bring people back from the dead even. So that wouldn't work on me as much as you're thinking. Like, yeah, it would suck if they turned into Gothic or my older sibling or somebody else I really care about. Because I can also intellectually go, that's not them. Like, I can turn that part of my brain off. But yeah, it's a good anime. They've made a good explanation for what makes him different than the other monk, because he's just a fist fighter. And because the other monk can, like, heal you back from the dead or bring you back from the dead multiple times. So, like, what makes him different? Well, the main character, he's actually able to insta-cast magic, and that's something that very few people are able to do, and he can only cast level 1 spells because he's got very low mana pool, but he's really good at doing it. So they did a good job with that. That Time I Got Reincarnated Slime is approaching the final episode of this season, and like this season's very much been a meeting season. Failure Frame had a really good fight scene where you get to see the main character just go ham. Why Does No One Remember Me in This World? It was able to... It's slowly wrapping up. It was able to introduce a lot of concepts in the story. Well, I'm assuming they're under the grounds. They're able to imitate you, like able to imitate, imitate and behave like you. Yeah, I need to watch it. My older sibling said I need to watch it because they've already watched it. And besides, if they turn into Gothic, I'd probably put them in a shoulder lock pretty damn quickly. Like, I don't need to deck the fuck out of them. I can just put them in a shoulder lock. Let's see here. This is getting another season. I'm actually surprised as hell about that. Let's see. I'm looking for. Oh, I think this just finished its last episode of the season. Let's see here. There's another anime I was gonna bring up. I've been watching it a little bit on repeat, but now I've kind of like burnt out on it. It's called Beast Tamer, and I don't see it on my list because I keep things on my list if like there's even a remote chance I might rewatch them. Yeah, here it is, Beast Tamer. It's not a bad anime. Like it definitely like the main character is super OP for no freaking reason. Like it's actually explained in the manga why he's so powerful, but like most Beast Tamers can only tame one creature at a time, maybe two if they're good. Seed of Evolution, you have that one, same thing. Seed of Evolution, the main character is just ungodly OP for no reason. Ends up with a harem, not even intentionally. Like this female gorilla falls in love with him, evolves into a human. She can transform back and forth whenever she wants. Let's see here. This adventurer who's like got really bad luck, he basically reverses her curse, so now she has decent luck. Falls in love with him. He buys a donkey for a race. The donkey turns into a human and falls in love with him. Let's see here. One of the greatest swordsmen in the world falls in love with him. Let's see here. Like, just, it's straight up a harem power fantasy trip anime. Like, that sums it up. Like, I don't think I can describe it any better than that. Which I was going to say sounds like something you would watch, Trickster. And absolute. Oh, yeah. His two childhood friends. Like, one of them was able to figure out that it was him by his smell alone. Because he apparently had, like, this. He had, like, this super bad odor naturally. And because his whole class got isekai'd. He got isekai'd separately into another area because he got missed. And so they put, so he basically took this fruit of evolution and like if you eat a certain amount of it, like you like break your humanity or something like that's why he's so powerful. And I'm gonna have the anime in the background so you know which one I'm talking about. Here it is. Which is why he's skinny now. And at one point, when he goes to the magical academy that's required in an isekai, he finds out like pretty much good romance animes. There's actually a couple I'll recommend. He finds out his whole isekai class is basically got slave collars on, but they're more in the form of bracelets, and he breaks them all. Loses his shit when he does it. And he meets two of the girls who actually did like him before they came over. Yeah. And they did like him before he came over, and they were able to track him up because he still had his scent to some degree, which is weird. And later on, this is in the manga, not the anime. Apparently, they request that he put the slave collars back on them so they will serve him because they're like, we can't be your wife because he chooses only the gorilla as his wife, but they want to be a part of his harem in their own way. Yep. Hell, the episodes end with them talking about his stat sheet. So Gothic requested romance animes. This one I really love. Like the romance between the two main characters, fucking love it. I watch it like multiple times because it just makes me. It's got a good feel-good romance. Banished Hero is another one. Like he has his girlfriend like from episode 5 onward. Like they're like, yeah, we're together. Straight up proposes her, and then the whole second season he's trying to get her a ring. It's a really good romance anime with a legit great story. That's one. I'll drop you these links because you've got you and me are you're my little sister. I can drop you the links on Discord like it's nothing. This one I don't know if you want to call it a romance anime because no one's dating anybody, but the main character she got isekai'd into an Otome game where she got isekai'd as the villainess, you know, like the rich bitch who like ruins other people's lives and stuff. But because she doesn't want to do that, she doesn't want that to happen. She goes out of her way to like try to avoid all of the things that should have led to her ruin. And pretty much everybody in the game everybody in the world falls in love with her, and she doesn't realize it. Like who would have been the main character kind of falls in love with her. Who would have fallen, and everybody who would have fallen in love with her and their exes fell in love with her, and it's fucking awesome. I'll take a look. Seven Time Loop. This is probably one of my favorites. The main character basically screams our older sibling to me. At one point, she gets captured, and they lock her in a room. And her, yeah, I'm going to drop you a couple good recommendations. But anyway, she gets locked into a room, and basically try to use as a hostage against the love interest, and this guy, and he's like he has no concern over her because he has complete faith she's going to free herself. And after like talking for like a minute to the person holding her hostage, she comes in through the front door, and then explains, next time you kidnap someone, make sure you break their arms. Do a thorough search to make sure they're not carrying any knives. And then like she just lists all the things that he did wrong, and it's like that makes me think of my older sibling. But it's legitimately a really good anime. The concept is that it's not an isekai. She basically at the start of her time loop, she got her marriage got called off very publicly, very embarrassingly, and she lives for about 2 years, and then she ends up dying in one way or another because of a war usually going on, and then she resets back to that divorce happening. This is the seventh time, and one of the guys who was with the result of her dying most of those times is this guy, and they basically fall in love. Like she doesn't recognize that she fell in love, but he absolutely loves her because she's an oddity. Like she's too smart, too good at being at everything that he likes. It doesn't make sense to him that she knows how to use a sword. She knows how to lockpick. She knows chemistry. She knows all these different things that a noblewoman really wouldn't know. So that's one of my favorites. Let's see here. I need to watch Apothecary Diary. Nick said that make sure I'm in a good emotional place for it because I've been pretty fucked up. How to Love Your Elf Bride. Once again, cute romanciness. Like they're both socially awkward, which fucking sucks. So that I try to avoid those ones, but this one is really good. I do enjoy that one. This is probably one of the best right here. This is one of, like, empirically one of the best. She gets isekai'd from one fantasy, I think, from Japan to the world, and so did another girl. The other girl who was more attractive, conveniently attractive, everybody assumed she was the saint, so like the chosen hero kind of thing, who was able to fight these dark monsters that were coming out of the ground. And so they just kind of ignored her, and she's like, oh, what do I do? So she ends up falling in love with like doing alchemy and stuff like that. Of course, you find out that, by the end of the first season, you find out, no, she actually is the saint. And the other girl was just really talented at magic. And it wasn't her fault. Like, everybody just kept forcing her, saying, no, she is the saint. There's a lot of like the weird court intrigue in there, like randomly, but it's legitimately also a really good romance anime. She ends up like with this really cool knight. Yeah, once again, well, yeah, kind of. The only difference is like chilling with level 2 by episode 6, he knows he's in love with her. This one, it's not until like the final episode of season 2. This one I like, but I can only watch it intermittently. He ends up married to her and has a kid, and he was in the Demon Lord's army, but he found out so when he got fired for dumb reasons, it turns out he was actually a human the whole time. He didn't know it. He thought he was just a demon who couldn't use magic. And that's all I'm going to tell about it. But he ends up with a really cool wife who's like obscenely strong, and like you can't help but like her. I haven't seen that one. Let's see here. I like this one, but for weird reasons. I'm not going to call this one a romance anime, but I also like usually don't recommend it. Let's see here. This one is pretty much just an R-word fantasy when it comes to it. It's like a power trip where like he captures a bunch of women, releases pheromones so that they fall in love with him, and then he R-words them effectively because they really don't get to consent of their own free will, and then they get brainwashed. Like, that one fucking pisses me off. Like, I did enjoy it, but then I started thinking about the things he was doing, and I'm like, I actually don't like it. This is another good romance one. The final season of it, like, actually fucked with me a little bit. I'm not going to explain why, because that would ruin it, but it's really good. I'm the villainess, so I'm taming the final boss. Similar concept to the one I mentioned previously, where she's the villainess in an Otome game, and she knows it, so she tries to fight it. Yeah, that's all the romance ones I have on hand. If you're wanting to cry, though, the best one to cry over would be The Weakest Tamer Began a Journey to Pick Up Trash. That one, like, if you have abandonment issues, Trust me, it will trigger every abandonment issue you have and make you fucking cry. I'm not going to describe it because I'll fucking tear up talking about it. I have abandonment issues for some fucking reason. Yeah, but those are the romance ones I would recommend. Chillin' at level 2 would probably be the first one if you're looking for like a feel good one. Um, Banished from a Hero's Party is another good one. I'll drop you some of these in Discord. Wisteria of Wand and Sword is getting its last episode Saturday, Sunday. So I'd recommend watching that one. My one problem with it is it's from a trope that's been going on a lot lately, where it's in a world of magic users, you have the one non-magic user. Like Black Clover is probably the biggest anime one, but then you have Mashal, but that's more of making fun of it. It's making fun of all of that magic school stuff. Oh no, that one's really good too, but I don't call that a romance one. Dance Sun, Are You Kidding Me? Is good. It's really good. Once again, it's a power fantasy trip to some degree, but it's good. And then you have Wisteria, who is like everybody has magic, but this guy. He actually technically does have magic, but it's complicated. But yeah, the Eighth Sun, Are You Kidding Me? Is really good. I do enjoy that one. For those who want to know, basically this guy gets reincarnated into a world, and he's the eighth son of, like, technically it's a noble family, but it's an insanely poor noble family. And he's actually, like, born with, like, really powerful magic, and then he's taught by this one guy how to use magic, and then that's pretty much the story. Like, being able to do magic at all is a big deal. Being able to do it to his level is insane. It does have, like, a lot of court intrigue randomly in there, and, like, those scenes, like, both bother me and like makes me fist pump. He does get a harem, that's right. Well, not yes and no. Yes and no. Because they don't like come off as a harem, but these are like two women that like fall in love with him, but they're like just part of his party, so it's like, oh no, his former sister-in-law doesn't fall in love with him. He just saves her from being homeless. The only reason she was acting interested in him was to prevent her so that her kids would be safe. Because if what was going to happen, her sons would be targeted. But if he took them in, they would be safe. Yep. You want me to shoot you some of those playlists while I'm talking? Oh, I know that, but I'm talking about just what's on the anime. I know that. I was kind of expecting that to happen, to be honest. This is a harem anime, straight up. Alright. Go full screen. I'll shoot you 3 of them. I'll shoot you 3 recommendations, different levels of romance. Yeah, and his female teammates, but they act like they do basically try to become his second and third wife, for lack of a better description. That's because they're like, I forget their logic behind it. I forget their weird logic behind it. But it really doesn't like do anything in the story because he's just like not interested. Yeah, they decide they want to do that, or his mistress. They actually don't say they don't want to be his fiancés. They decide they want to be his mistresses because he's like obscenely wealthy because he keeps accidentally doing things. You know what, I want to try something. I won't be able to respond to chat while I'm doing this, so give me a second. I'm going to try this, see if I feel this works without me having to do my usual videos. Let's see if I can find it. I'm looking for a specific comic book scene. This one? No, that's not it. I can't find it, and I'm actually getting really annoyed by this. It's a really good scene in one of the and Batman, it actually explains why no one ever thinks Bruce Wayne is Batman. Because what I wanted to do was talk about why no one thinks Bruce Wayne is Batman. Not to mention like all the weird shit he does in the background to prevent it. Um, but there's a specific scene in Batman Year Zero I'm looking for. I'll have to find it later. Like I might have to actually like anyway. Yeah, I won't be able to do it then. What I was gonna do was I was gonna see if I can basically like record a video here and then just cut it. See if I felt good with that. Reasons. Like I'm trying to be better about making content. All right. Let's talk about what's on sale in Steam because I do want to talk about that. There's a couple of games that came out recently that I'm semi interested in. Because I'm also afraid of like what y'all will see while I'm flipping through here. I need to be careful. Oh, Remnant 2 just got its DLC today. I haven't been able to touch it yet because I'm waiting for my buddy to get home. Here's one that's catching my attention. I kind of want to play it on stream, but I don't know if I will because it's like 40 bucks right. Oh, 35 bucks right now, but and like the ROI on it might not be worth it because like it does look fun. It looks like I will have fun playing it. But I've got so many other games on my belt, and I would love to support the indie studio behind it. But this does look like an interesting game. Its description is: Witchfire is a first-person dark fantasy RPG shooter in which you play as a wicked sinner turned witch hunter on his first mission or final mission to reach salvation. What the fuck that means, I have no effing clue. It's describing it as a Souls-like, but I look at the combat. That's not a Souls-like game. If you do the early access, you get this Striga stake gun early, which I don't know, whatever. Witchfire is a single player from creators behind Painkiller and Bullets. Okay, I already like it. It's from Bulletstorm. The developers of Bulletstorm. Oh my god, I already like it. Yeah, I'll definitely have to get this at some point. I need to check my budget first before I do it, but yeah, I'll probably pick this up. For those who don't know, Bulletstorm like had some like psychotic gameplay, like fighting, and the dialogue I fucking loved it. Like one of them was one of the lines I really enjoyed was something something murder boner. Like I can't remember what the full line was. This looks like it'll be a lot of fun. I might pick this up soon. I gotta check my budget first though, because I got a lot. I think I got a lot of big ticket stuff that comes through budget wise that come through this month. Got a little bit before Marvel Rivals drops, so I don't care. God of War Ragnarok is now on now on PC. So is Final Fantasy 16. Intoria Last Song just dropped, and that is a Dark Souls game, but it's not. It's a small studio who did it, and people are saying it's not fun right now. Like Penguinzo played it, and he said it's not a bad game. It's just not a good game. Later, I was gonna be ending the stream soon anyway. I might give that a try eventually, but like I'm not paying 50 bucks for that game right now. Oh yeah, I was gonna be looking at the games that are on sale. I forgot. Whatever. Anyway, I think that's what I got in me. This was meant to be just a lazy, quick stream. I just wanted to talk to you guys. Final Fantasy X is on sale, and 10 too, in case anyone's interested. Devour got a DLC, a new map. That's cool. Devour is VR too, by the way. For anybody who cares, Devour is both VR and not VR. You want Devour? Oh, Final Fantasy X? Okay. Because I thought I bought Devour for you because I wanted to play it with you at some point, but I stopped caring. Anyway, appreciate y'all being here. Plan on seeing y'all in the next one.